What's up, sports bettors? We've been cashing pretty big recently on the fantasy sites. So we won $1,500 on this play. We won $3,000 on these three picks on Underdog Fantasy. And today I have 7 more player props. So I have 2 on Thrive Fantasy, 3 on Underdog Fantasy, and then another 2 on PrizePicks. So following the value, wherever the value is, that's the sportsbook I'm going to be betting on. And today I found plays on all 3 of the main competitors in the fantasy space. And what's interesting is they all work basically the same way, right? So when you're looking at OddsJam, when you're looking at the positive expected value betting tool, which is probably our most profitable betting tool, what you're going to see is picks like this one, Thompson over 3.5 shots on goal on PrizePicks, right? That's the bet in bold with the circle around it. That's the play we want to be on PrizePicks. So you can see it's completely free to browse odds on OddsJam. So any sport, any market you want to look at, any game you want to look at, it's completely free to browse odds. And basically what you're going to notice on PrizePicks is you're going to see 2 categories. You're going to see minus 137 for PrizePicks and then minus 119 in a 5-pick flex. So basically, you can convert PrizePicks into sportsbook odds and ruthlessly scan the sportsbooks, compare the lines on the sportsbooks to those on PrizePicks, and look for value. And the reason for that is the way that PrizePicks works is any 2 picks you select, you're always getting, $1 to win 3. You're betting $1 to win 3. Doesn't matter if you take overs, unders, $1 to win 3, right? $1 to win 3. Any parlay you create, any 2-leg parlay on PrizePicks is betting 1 to win 3. So as you can see right here, that means the implied juice, the implied odds they're giving you for a 2-pick entry is going to be minus 137. Right? So when we're playing on PrizePicks, we want to find value at minus 137. So a great example of not finding value is, let's say Jake, this Jake player, we definitely don't want to take him under 3.5 shots on goal on PrizePicks in either a 5-pick flex or in an entry, right? You don't want to take him in any entry on the under. Why? Because you can get plus money on the sportsbooks. You can go over to BetOnline Sportsbook and bet 100 to win 115, whereas on PrizePicks, you need at least 2 picks. You can't just bet on 1 pick, and the implied prices are terrible. Minus 128 to minus 137 for 2-pick to 4-pick entries. And what you're going to notice right here is, why would we do that, right? It wouldn't make any sense. We'd want to play the under on the sportsbook. We also wouldn't want to take the over in a 3-pick or a 2-pick entry, right? Because you're not getting value. At minus 137, we don't want to take his over either, because I can just bet him on a sportsbook at minus 132 or minus 131. So that's how sharp sports bettors think, right? That's how sharps think. They're always looking for value. They're always hunting for value, for edges, as they're called. So what you're going to see here is Tage Thompson. All the sportsbooks have his over in terms of shots on goal heavily juiced, right? Minus 139 to minus 200. BetOnline, a very sharp offshore sportsbook, they're pricing this over 3.5 shots on goal at minus 137. Or I apologize, at minus 200 as a 2-to-1 favorite, and we can get this in our PrizePicks entry, right? So this is a ridiculous value play. As a sharp bettor, we're always looking for value, right? We're like a savvy investor. You're looking for value, you're hunting for edges, and there are a bunch of strategies to find profitable bets, but all this EV page does is scan PrizePicks, all the markets, right? PRAs, NBA, every sport. You're about to see I have an eSports play, and then this EV page just shows you, hey, no BS, here's where the value is, right? It's showing us this hockey player prop, not because there's any sports information. It's just math and it's just value, right? There's a ton of value at minus 137, considering Pinnacle, one of the sharpest bookmakers in the world, they're pricing this at minus 150. BetOnline has this as a 2-to-1 favorite, the over in shots on goal. So when all the sports books have the over heavily juiced, right? They have the over heavily juiced. It's because the over is a lot more likely to occur. So Thompson over 3.5 shots on goal is great value, and that's the first play we want to be on. So that's my first bet on PrizePicks. Now, what I ended up going with next is from the OddsJam middle betting tool. So again, OddsJam really is just like it's a data platform. So there's a bunch of different ways you can view data, and there are a bunch of different strategies for finding profitable bets, right? The positive EV page is just one strategy. It just shows you where is the value, right? Where's the value mathematically? So what this screen lets you do is compare one market, so for example, player passing yards, between all sportsbooks at once. So what I like to do is sometimes you can spot big discrepancies between where PrizePicks is setting their line or sportsbooks. So for example, for Davis Mills, you can get him over his passing yards line on PrizePicks is 212 half. Underdog has it at 220 half. Thrive has it at 220 half. Caesars has it at 221 half. William Hill 221 half. So it seems like there's probably some value being able to get the over at 212 half on PrizePicks, right? And then this is in a 5-pick flex. So again, on PrizePicks, based on their payouts, right? Any 3-leg parlay is plus 400 odds. Any 2-leg parlay is plus 200 odds. The implied odds change. So you want to be careful with whether you're playing 2-pick, 3-pick, or 4-pick entries on PrizePicks. Like if you have 4 sharp picks you want to lock in, you should basically always be going with a 4-leg power play because the implied odds are better, right? As opposed to a 3-pick power play or, 2-pick power plays. You'd much rather prefer a 4-pick power play, and we've gone through this in tons of tutorial videos about PrizePicks. So what I ended up finding is this eSports player prop on the middle page. So maybe I ended up refreshing it, but what you can see is it's right here. So it's in Greyhound versus Vitality, you can see right here, you can get over 20.5 kills, third map player kills for Zywoo. Pinnacle has the over 21.5 juiced to minus 149. So we're getting 1 kill lower, right? And we're getting better odds. We're getting better implied odds. So that's the second pick I locked in, right? So 2 picks, 2 overs, a hockey player prop, an eSports player prop, finding value. Over 20.5, right? That's what we're getting, over 20.5 at minus 137. Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker in the world, they're pricing this at minus 149, a kill higher, right? So if Zywoo has exactly 21 third map player kills, we're winning on PrizePicks, our bet is winning, right? Our play on Pinnacle would lose if there's exactly 21. So we're finding value, right? Value is what matters as a sharp bettor. Here you can see another one just popped up, right? Right here, third map player kills, Eanes, under 16. So what we can do is we can go here and take a look, right? Wow, Pinnacle has the under 15.5 at minus 172. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say, okay, let's go back here, and then let's go here. So we want under 16. So this is another play we want. So the market's dynamic, so you got to keep up with it. We're getting under 16 kills at minus 137 implied odds when the sharpest bookmaker in the world is pricing the under 15.5 at minus 172. So we can refresh the middle page again, see if anything else is available for this eSports map or for this eSports coming up. And then we can take a look here as well. So we can see if there's any other player props. And we can see this Tage Thompson one is still available. So maybe we take that. So we go back here to NHL, and then we go to shots on goal, and we want Tage Thompson over 3.5. So just sharp mathematical sports betting. And I'm only hitting these for $50 because they actually cap me at $100 betting per player. So Tage Thompson over 3.5, 2 eSports player props for today. So next, that's pretty cool. Let's head over to Underdog Fantasy. So Underdog Fantasy for a 3-pick entry, you're getting minus 122 implied odds, and that's where we've been running pretty hot. So we want to find 3 picks where we're getting value at minus 122. So once again, purely looking for value, right? If you wanted to fade Patrick Mahomes, being able to get him under 288 half, right, seems pretty good. If you're looking to bet his under this week on PrizePicks. Actually, you can play him under 299 half on Monkey Knife Fight. So there's some big discrepancies between the sports books, right? Here, PrizePicks has Kyler's line at 250 half. Monkey Knife Fight has it at 260 half. So big discrepancies. But anyways, I ended up going with Austin Matthews over 4.5 shots on goal, Jalen Brunson under 1.5 threes, and then I also played Simons over 3.5 made threes. So again, it's the same strategy, right? We know the math. We're getting minus 122 implied odds. So we're hunting for value at minus 122. And what you're going to see is Austin Matthews. We're getting him minus 122 in a 3-pick underdog entry. All of the sportsbooks have this heavily juiced from minus 130 to minus 150, right? DraftKings, Caesars, we have all these data points. You know, this is what's so fascinating about sports betting. You don't even have to know anything about hockey. You literally don't. You have all these sports books, more efficient, sharper betting markets telling us where the line should be set. And then we can just ruthlessly compare the sports books to Underdog Fantasy once we understand the proper strategies for making money off PrizePicks, how their payouts work, everything like that. And then we find value at minus 122 implied odds. So pretty ridiculous value being able to get Austin Matthews over 4.5 shots on goal. All the sportsbooks have it as a heavy favorite, right? Roughly minus 145 if you took an average. We're getting minus 122. Seems pretty good. Same with Jalen Brunson, under 1.5 made threes. Ridiculous value in this play. And then finally, I ended up going with 2 plays on Underdog Fantasy, or Thrive Fantasy, I apologize. So Thrive Fantasy is kind of like the budget airlines. So what you're going to notice is on this platform, any 2 picks you select, you're betting, let's go here. So let's say we select 2 player props. You're going to see like, hey, I'm betting $1 to win $3.60. We said earlier on PrizePicks, you're always betting $1 to win 3, right? Whatever player props you select, you're betting 1 to win 3. Any 2-leg parlay is betting 1 to win 3. On this Thrive Fantasy, they're kind of competitive. You know, it's the exact same platform. OddsJam scans all this data, you know, takes it all, plugs it into the sport, and lets you compare it to the sports books, right? So the plays I ended up finding are right here. First, I took Al Horford under 18.5 PRAs. So now, right, we're not getting minus 137, even though we only have 2 picks. Because our payout is higher on Underdog Fantasy, on Thrive Fantasy, they're offering better implied odds, only minus 111. So we're able to get Horford under 18.5 PRAs. Caesars has this minus 157, FanDuel minus 122, right? We're getting this minus 111. Definitely don't want to take it on Underdog when we can take it on Thrive, their competitor, and get much better odds, right? Half as much juice. There's only half as much juice on Thrive for a 2-pick entry. So we're getting minus 111. Caesars has this minus 157. You know, FanDuel, DraftKings, Unibet have this minus 120-ish. Pinnacle minus 147. Being able to get it minus 111 seems pretty dang good value. And then next we have Murray, under 20.5 points. So those are 2 player props I locked in for today. The final 2, here's my 2-pick entry. I ride with you on all these plays. $250 to win $900. Let's make money.